Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. So, in today's report on information coming out of the Horn of Africa, specifically Ethiopia, the Tigray region, and other areas as well, the Ethiopian government has made a demand. It has what can be described as issued a final notice. The government is calling on senior TPLF military and political leaders who are suspected to have played a role in the crime to surrender peacefully to law enforcement agencies, a statement issued by the Prime Minister's office said. It said TPLF top military and political leaders who do this will save themselves from severe punishment and prevent misery of their people. Prevent misery of their people. Okay. However, to the senior military and political leaders of the TPLF who do not respond to this last call to bring themselves to justice, the government states in advance that all necessary measures will be taken to enforce the law. So what does that mean? Does that mean other measures besides the use of heavy artillery, the allowance of Eritrean army units to enter the country en masse, the use of foreign drones, the use of multi-role fighter bombers? What else could possibly be used to rectify the situation inside of Tigray, according to the government? Interesting statement, and how it's continued to be labeled as a law enforcement operation when this is well outside the scope of any rational or reasonable law enforcement operation that has ever been conducted on the planet, quite frankly. But could this be a sign of desperation? Could there be things occurring on the ground inside of Tigray and now inside of Amhara, such as the deep penetration raids by the TDF that are currently underway to bring the conflict to other parts of Ethiopia? Could that be the reason that we're hearing this kind of rhetoric coming out of the Ethiopian government in Addis Ababa? I would think that's a possibility. But again, there continues to be rather serious fighting that is taking place in southern Tigray. Well, there's rather serious fighting taking place all over Tigray, with some of the more heavier fighting that is now taking place towards the south as units of the TDF advance into the Amhara region itself. Again, there continues to be video footage of TDF units on the march. Again, these are very large columns of personnel on the road, conducting foot marches in what I would define as close column formation. They do not appear to be too concerned about the possibility of drone attacks, nor do they seem overly concerned about the possibility of an Ethiopian airstrikes. In some of these videos, we also see a celebratory gunfire taking place, which tells me that there is not a lack of ammunition for some of these units. In that case, they probably would not be conducting celebratory gunfire on their way to set operations. The concept of the Ethiopian Air Force that has been conducting strikes, my understanding is that the Ethiopian Air Force in its current form and the operations that are taking place now without the use of precision strike drones are not very accurate. They're able to engage in possible columns that they can physically see on the road, but the Ethiopian army does not do a great job of providing close air support for its troops. So a unit that is in contact on the ground really does not have the ability to radio into the Ethiopian Air Force and call for a direct ground strike. That proficiency seems to be really kind of non-existent, and it's partially because the Ethiopian Air Force does not have precision strike pods or just the necessary technology to conduct said strike that you would see in some other militaries around the world. But the conflict persists, and it's just incredibly interesting to see that demand coming out of the Ethiopian government to the Tigray region. I think the Tigray region has accepted that it is in total war, and I'm not certain the Ethiopian government has yet accepted that reality.